Hi everyone and welcome to the Warhammer podcast. We're your hosts, Jack
and Dan.
And today we're looking at Warhammer's most iconic models out there.
Yeah.
40k's models.
Following on from our recent video where we talked about what we think is like a big improvement in 40k mini design. It's a lovely trend. So we've picked our favourite units from 5 factions. So not all of them. And beauty's in the eye of the beholder. It's very subjective.
Yeah.
So don't come at us in the comments. But do let us know your top 5. We'd love to know which ones you love the most and why. But let's not argue about it.
I'm ready to fight over
These
hills I die on.
Yeah.
This
Well, your first choice is a brilliant one to kick us off, I think.
Again, for me, it's iconic. It's something that really showed me that these guys mean business and they are who they are. So the first one for me is a Space Marine Dreadnought. It was something that I had when I was younger. I loved the design of it. It was very lore accurate for that grim darkness element.
It's totally metal, yeah.
Yeah, it's literally just this guy who's passed away or he's died or whatever.
He's close to death. Yeah,
close to death.
Yeah,
he's been shoved into this thing.
A sarcophagus. Yeah, it's like a living coffin, basically. Isn't it?
It sounds when you get it sounds cool, right? On paper. This guy has been pushed in. He's, my duty's not done. And then it turns out when you start looking into it, it's like, oh, actually, he is just inside this metal coffin.
Yeah,
he is being pumped with things to keep him alive. He might not have an arm when he's inside of it. He might not have a torso.
Might not have any limbs. Yeah,
and he's just in this thing. And he knows he can't do anything. He can't feel anything. It's in this like a liquid thing. You can only see with the sensors and such.
Yeah,
it's very grimdark in my eyes.
I think as when you first get into the hobby, Space Marines is often what drags a lot of us in, what captures our imagination. And you're like, I always think it's like that step where you're like, oh, these Space Marines are cool. Or I really like those Terminators. And then you see a Dreadnought and you're like, oh, This is
when you see like, what's it called again? Even in death, I still serve.
That's
the iconic saying these guys say.
That's it. The first Dawn of War, if you're old enough to remember that, the Dreadnoughts like quotes in that are still...
Fear denies faith and stuff like that. It's such banging ones. It's so good. But yeah, that's one of my first ones because again, it's just like now it's taken very many forms and obviously different like weapon profiles. But he's just from the Dawn of War stages to when I first had him. He's
the classic Redemptor Dreadnought is one of my favourites. Absolutely,
it was a small, bulky little guy. That's my first choice.
Good.
What's your first choice?
And not be surprised, judging by my T-shirt or to regular viewers, but it's a Necron.
That's crazy.
And it's the Catan Shard of the Void Dragon. I think this is a beautiful model, and it's what a set piece should be on the table. It combines like power and grace. It's got a real presence on the battlefield because it's quite big. And the pose, it kind of reminds me almost of like a Renaissance painting. It's like it's got that kind of look to it.
You look at that and you know that is a star god. Basically. You look. Obviously, he's the most recent one that's been remade.
So this is the first. Sculpted. Yeah, the first one that they did a plastic version of. All the others are still resin, aren't they?
Yes. Which was a nightmare.
I think the Transcendent is plastic, but you can't buy that unless you buy the whole
obelisk thing. Which is crazy money.
But if the Nightbringer gets a similar treatment in terms of the affection that they've poured into this, then I'll be really, really happy.
It's nice, because the Deceiver and the Nightbringer really deserve a globe compared to if this is what they've done. This is the baseline.
They've set the standard high, haven't they? But let's see a Nightbringer along these lines. But I absolutely adore this model. But your second choice is also from the same faction.
Also from the same faction, as you can probably tell. Again, more Necron content here. It has to be for me the Monolith, the Necron Monolith. This guy here, but not even just this guy, even the older version of him as well, where it's that just more pyramid shaped fella. He's just, for me, he was the first one that I actually got. I collected Space Marines for a long time, and then my friend collected Space Marines, but he also started collecting Necrons. And he had this still in the box, which I've still got to this day. It's the same one. And I traded for I think it was 7 or 8 jump pack Space Marines.
It's the best trade ever.
He was just like, I don't want to build it, I don't want to play it, yada yada yada, and I was like, take them. Absolutely take them. I traded them for 7 Space Marine jump packs.
Awesome.
The best decision I've ever made in my life. But even just on the tabletop and the lore wise, I think they're so great, so funny.
It's lovely to see them have a place on the battlefield in this edition.
Yes. They're usable.
Yeah.
And it's really good. I love the Portal of Exile as well.
Yes.
I love, like, there's like bits in the lore about it, about like people have different opinions on what actually happens when you get sucked into it.
Yes.
Some people say, which is probably one of my personal favorites, is that they go to a flayed one realm.
Oh,
so they suck in whatever it is,
Yeah.
and they spit them out into the flayed ones, and the flayed ones just, I mean, imagine that would be spooky. All them flayed ones.
That's quite grimdark as well, isn't it?
Other ones say that they just get teleported into the middle of a star.
Yeah.
Which I think is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, that's also pretty funny.
Yeah. But yeah, there's loads of different lore around it, and I absolutely love it in the range.
Yeah, that one, I mean, I do like the old one, but he is a bit chunky and clunky, but the new one is just it's a beautiful model, and they've got the right amount of detail on there to make it really interesting.
Yes, I think they've kept the original design and just elevated it to include those extra details, as you say.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Brings a tear to my eye. Tear to my eyes. Great, but what about your second choice?
My second choice is a model actually that I hate facing on the tabletop, but I love it. I love the model itself, and it's from the Chaos Demons Codex, and it's Shalaxi. So you can build Shalaxi. I think she's a variant that you can build from the Keeper of Secrets box, but she's obviously a specific name character. It was in Demons. It was a close call between this one and Be'lakor for me. I think Be'lakor is a really cool model, but he's more of perhaps what you would expect from Demons. Like he looks like what you'd expect a Demons look like.
Yeah.
But I'd still think that she's a real showstopper. I think she's got. Maybe this is like, my aesthetic, because she kind of combines that elegance and badassery the same as the Void Dragon does.
Yeah.
That same
on the table, really. Isn't it?
It's got a presence.
Coming at you, like,
but it's got a presence, but it's kind of subtle. It's not like
It's like, hey, look at me, I'm going to kill you. It's more like, hey, look at me, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, exactly. And I think she's also got that same kind of otherworldliness about it that the Void Dragon has, which again is like a tick in one of my boxes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, she always absolutely rinses me. And my pal Lee,
isn't it?
Yeah, he's a member of our club, but he's also a member of our Discord, and he's kit bashing Shalaxi for his demon armor, which is going to be amazing.
I've seen the input on that one.
Yeah.
It's been good.
It's a very exciting project.
We were divided on it actually at one point. Weren't we?
Yeah,
he asked, he was like, "Oh, would this be good? Or this be good?"
Yeah,
and it was like we immediately said the both different things. And we were like, "Right, that's it. Podcast over."
Yeah. The first fight on our Discord was actually us two.
Yeah, almost banned you.
Yeah,
almost kicked you.
Yeah, finger was hovering over the button.
Yeah. Don't make me, Dad. Don't make me. I was pouring with tears as I was doing that. No, I don't want to do it.
You've been looking for an excuse.
But yeah, no, I think it's an excellent choice, to be fair. It's something that I don't really like. I love Demons and I say I love playing them, but I see that one and it does just like strike
it's got
fear.
something. Yeah, it's just got that something about it, that X factor, hasn't it?
That calm, collective. I'm gonna just destroy you.
Yeah,
kind of vibe to it.
You've also picked something from the Chaos side for your third choice.
I have. So this is a bit of a flash from the past because I rarely see this anymore.
Yeah.
The Defiler. If anyone remembers what that was. So this is a completely different design to what I would kind of normally go to. A lot of spikes. I love the spider-like design.
Yeah.
I think that's really unique.
Yeah.
Again, it's one of the Chaos Demons that gets made. It was actually a little bit low to it. It was actually originally designed by the Iron Warriors.
That's right, yeah. It's kind of like what do they call them? Demon Engine, isn't it?
Yep.
So it's combining that like demonic stuff with the like a vehicle, really, I suppose. And that's again, that's like pure 40k, really, isn't it?
It really is. The function itself, the reason why it's been made for is just to destroy things. I gotta respect it. If your sole purpose is just to be made to destroy things, give it a class name like the Defiler. Give it some spider legs to make it faster. Absolutely.
Speaking about destruction,
yes. So I remember way back when I was younger, I had a tournament, or not a tournament, like a more casual game when I was younger in the store.
Oh yeah.
If you ever held a Defiler, you don't know where to hold it. It's just this weird angled thing. Like, I mean, some models nowadays. I mean, look at this model, like here. Like, I would never pick it up from. If you look at the back here, there's the little spider.
Oh yeah,
section
got a
here.
little canoptic on the back.
You would never just grab the spider and pick it up.
No,
because you know for a fact it's gonna break.
Yeah.
But when you're kids, you don't really think too much about weight distribution and then like how it's gonna, like, where is it glued and such. So I remember someone picking up the Defiler by its claw. So like, if you again, I'll have it on screen so you can see. Someone picks it up from the claw, looks at it. Oh, that's cool, and then it just snaps, falls to the bottom, and just hits the ground and explodes. nuts.
Oh no!
It was back
if you were a kid that had spent hours building that, you'd be gutted, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, because I mean, hey, it was just as it is now. It was pricey back then when you were kids, so having that destroyed in front of your face is not good.
I mean, it's kind of a throwback to a bit more of the kind of, I was going to say crazy, maybe it's not, but you know what I mean, or quirky. This model doesn't really fit with the aesthetic of 10th edition, does it?
Yes, it is slightly different, but a lot more clunky, bit too many spikes.
Yeah, and he's quite on big size. Like it's not easy to move around the battlefield.
Takes it well, we've talked about that in the past, but like the Bane Blade, for example, getting that fella around like
a modern battlefield,
to fight, I'll probably struggle a lot more as well. But I want to see more of him.
Yeah,
like, he's good.
I love that side of 40k, and I'd like to see more of it back in the game.
We've mentioned it before, but like we've seen 40k move away from that element of uniqueness kind of thing, and like you look at a model and you're like, oh, that's definitely Necrons, for example. Like they're running out of them, I think.
Yeah, there was no mistaking that was chaos.
That was 100% chaos. Yeah, absolutely lovely. But what about your third choice then, Dan?
So this one is might surprise a few people because I'm always whinging about this faction, but it's from the Eldari. It's the from the Eldar. It's the Avatar of
Is
Cain.
this a new leaf of life for you?
No. I mean, I've just always loved this one. I think this was it's showing its age maybe a little bit, but I still think this is a classic model for me. Yeah. And I think it's just it's actually, well, as the others that we've both talked about kind of are emblematic of their faction. This guy is almost the opposite. I think he stands out because of that. So he's got like this combo of flames, and he's got this this hand like dripping in blood, which is like all of that's very un-Eldar. But he's he does embody the lore. His lore-wise is a bit like a Catan. He's like each craft world has an incarnation of this kind of of the bloody-handed god. So it's like it's like a shard. So it does fit with the lore, but I just think it just stands out so much on the battlefield. Whatever Eldar aspect or detachment you run, this guy is unique. Like he doesn't look like anything else.
No, I've got to agree. I think if I was to collect Eldar, which is on the table. No. the Catan, not the Catan. This fella, the
Avatar Cain,
it would have to be up there. It's just the aspect warriors for the flame wise. Just they look great.
I think you would do a great job of painting that as well. I'd love to see that.
It would be good airbrush style. Like it would have to be just.
You're not allowed to bring him when we play, but you can have him painted. He can stay in the cabinet
from your house. No Eldar allowed in here.
No, he'll get accidentally dropped.
And then stepped on and then crushed. No, fantastic model. He reminds, again, loved him back in Dawn of War. Seeing him just come out on the field and such, it was just incredible.
I think that's true. Any of those models that were in like Dawn of War, you will just have more of an emotional connection, I think, don't you?
I really do. I really, really do.
What about your fourth choice then?
You know what? I might get a lot of flack for this in the comments, and I'm ready for it. Right? I'm ready to
You like what you like, you know? The heart wants what the heart wants.
I do. So my fourth pick is the Tau Vespids.
Right.
I get it. I hear people think, "Oh, why? What the hell?" I don't know what it is. I just like them. I just generally I like the look of them. For me, I seen them back in 4th edition. I think that was they came out in metal back in 2006.
Right. Yeah.
And I had a squad of these guys. And, oh my god, there was not a game you could play with them where they just didn't break.
Oh.
Like, the weapons was just so heavy.
Yeah.
And they're just constantly. Fall off. The wings, oh my god,
anything with metal wings was always a struggle.
Just gluing them in the first place and dropping them. Hey, if you drop them, it's just game over. You have to admit that they're gone. Even we've mentioned in previous podcasts about the old box you could get for all of the foam on the inside.
Yes, the old case.
Didn't help.
No,
you had to put these guys in the middle section because they were metal, so they had more foam. Still didn't help. Still did not help. But I really like the design. I think you look at these guys and you think, oh, they are Tau. There's no doubt about it in my mind.
They are super distinctive. Nothing looks like them in 40k, does it?
A little bit of a lore tidbit that I found online as well about them is that some Tau don't actually like Vespids. They don't actually class them as part of the greater good. But since they are there, they kind of have to for the ethereals. But I like that element of it.
And I think a
bit of grey in there.
The throwback sculpt is really nice, but they've actually done a great job of the
rebrand.
The refresh that just came out, didn't it? They look really nice as well. I think they came out in Kill Team, didn't they?
Yes.
They
definitely needed it. But I still respect the classics.
But I do like that when Tau lore first came out, GW kind of position them as very much as the good guys.
Yeah.
And then as the lore, and then as the lore has developed, that's become a lot more like you were saying, shades of grey. Is that there's, who's greater good are we talking about here?
Yeah. Again, with obviously Foresight, kind of seeing it and being like, well, I don't kind of necessarily agree with it, so I'm going to create my own one.
Yeah.
And then he was really good friends with the other important Tau character as well,
right?
And she I think is like she's on the side of the ethereals, but doesn't like necessarily want to just outright just kill or destroy Foresight. So it's nice to see that everyone who is good can go grey.
Again, and that's how it should be. There shouldn't be any good guys in 40k per se. When you're playing your faction, then you can LARP as the good guys.
Yeah.
But
so on the flip side, are you allowed to have bad guys then as well?
I think you absolutely will. Absolutely. I mean, I think
so. There's always got to be bad guys, but they can never be good guys.
Well, when I'm playing as Space Marines, I'm playing as the good guys, and whatever you're playing are the bad guys.
Okay.
But
so if I'm playing.
If you were playing Chaos, you're definitely the bad guys when I'm Space Marines. But if I'm playing Necrons and you're playing Space Marines, I'm the good guys and you're the bad guys. Whoever I'm playing are the good guys, and whoever you're playing are the bad guys. But I mean, when one faction that it's hard to make a claim for as being the good guys is Gene Stealer cults.
That's true.
Yeah. And that's my
yourself now, Dan.
Well,
Are you now still the good guy and I'm playing Tau?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a real the story of Gene Stealer cults is like a tragedy, really, because they kind of prey on the most vulnerable in society, and they've got nothing to lose, and then force this kind of groundswell of rebellion. Yeah. But the end game is that the Tyranids come down and eat them all anyway. So
true. Well, maybe they're just trying to unionize everyone.
Look,
guys, we've got some good health benefits. Yes, an extra arm.
Yeah,
we got.
Who doesn't want an extra arm?
I mean, think of the productivity that you could increase if you had an extra arm.
Yes,
So what's it? Your fourth one is what?
It's the Brood Lord. I mean, you can see a theme for mine because I do like the set piece models, but I've always loved Gene Stealer since I got Space Hulk. Back in Space Hulk came out in '89, but I didn't get it until 1990 because I couldn't afford it when it first came out. I was skint.
Still can't afford it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hearing a lot of rumors, like we're not the first people to mention these rumors. I think Valrak has mentioned them on his channel, but I have independently heard from somebody who knows somebody at GW that they are rebooting Space Hulk. It is coming back out. So I'm currently saving my pennies for that because I want it.
I might buy it too.
Yeah.
Because again, the models and such that come with it is just really good.
Yeah, they're totally awesome. And it's just a bit of our childhoods, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we played very different editions, but it is both of our childhoods.
Yeah.
But the Broodlord is a gorgeous model. He's full of menace, this one. Yeah. And again, he's not like coming at you. He's kind of patiently waiting for the right moment to strike. He's
the model itself looks like he's thinking as well, which kind of like giving that element to a Tyranid kind of worries people because you just think, endless bugs, endless swarm, they're running out you just for biomass.
You're 100% right.
For this guy to patiently wait, it's like, he has an alternative agenda here.
They captured that intelligence, didn't they? Which is almost more scary.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I think I also love how he's on a pipe. He's not on a tactical rock.
That's true. It makes it a little bit.
Yeah. Which
is nice to see.
Yeah. So I'm really. I've got two of these. I'm looking forward to painting them. One of them is painted already into a really nice standard by my friend Daryl from the Betrayed by Dice podcast. But the other one I'm going to paint up in my Tyranid scheme. Nice. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to having a go at that.
Good.
And your final choice, we're back to the Imperium here.
Yes, if you haven't noticed already, it's on the table. The Baneblade. Yes. Honestly, man.
What a beast.
He's so good. Again, it's the Dawn of War aspect that's really getting me here. That guy in Dawn of War was absolutely class. But, you look at this and you immediately know Imperial God. Yeah. Astra Militarum. This is who he is.
Yeah.
One of the little shout outs as well was Yarrick. Rest in peace.
Yes, R.I.P.
He had his own one called the Fortress of Arrogance.
Oh, yeah.
What a class name.
Yeah, that's a great name.
Unreal name.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, again, R.I.P. That has passed away.
Maybe we might see him come back at some point.
I would love to. Please, Trizan, just bring him back.
Yeah.
Let him see you've captured him or revived him or done something.
Yeah.
I want to see him on the tabletop again. But Baneblade, again, he's just, for me, it's an iconic model. It's got all the weapons you could ask for and more.
I think one of the reasons I like it is because again, this is kind of a 40k throwback to more wacky times.
Yeah.
But it's like a tank dialed up to 11. Like it's like they looked at Lehman Russ or whatever and went
triple it.
Rogel Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not more. And that's what 40k should be.
Exactly.
But it also suffers in the modern game. Like you can't play this unless you're playing a casual narrative game because it cannot get around the table.
Exactly. I like playing it with the volcano lance. I'm sure that's what it's called. Because because it's got the long, it's extended barrel.
Yeah.
So that means if you can't get him through past the terrain piece, you can
keep around there.
Keep his finger around, and it's like, oh no, I can visually draw a line of sight.
Yeah, that's true.
It's one little way of getting.
But I do. I love the model. I think some of these bigger models, we've talked about this before, but maybe they need their own game or their own game format just so you can use them a bit more because it's hard to at the moment.
Yeah, it is.
My choice going from big is back to smaller. It's not the smallest models, but they are. Yeah.
Mr. Lions themselves.
Yeah, it's the Tyranids again, but it's Von Ryan's Leapers.
Yeah.
And I just, this was what made me want to collect Tyranids. When the new sculpts came out with the Leviathan launch box, these were the ones, we talked about some of these, like the Norn Emissaries, a great sculpt, etc. But these are the ones for me that went, I think they capture everything I like about Nids.
Yeah.
They look dangerous, they look agile and fast.
Again, that intelligence is kind of there because they're looking like they're ready to strike, but they're also kind of holding back a little bit.
Yeah.
It's nice to
that
see.
menace. So I think they're maybe that's probably my left field choice in the same way as yours is Vespids. There's people out there that probably have big love for lots of other Tyranid models, but for me, they and it has to be a personal thing. But for me, they just captured my heart.
If I had to put you on the spot, the Von Ryan Leapers versus the Broodlord, because you've picked two Tyranids, which one is?
Yeah, I mean, I cheated a little bit because you can run the Broodlord in Tyranids, but I've got a Genestealer Cults army, and he fits for me. He fits more with the Genestealer Cults. I mean, you can run them with Nids.
Yeah,
but if I had
the Genestealers are all about the infiltration side of things. So I get you on that part.
But if I had to choose between, that's a really tricky one. I think the Broodlord probably just edges it for me.
Just again with that intelligence kind of thing coming through.
It's just a very cool, what one person finds cool, someone else might not like. But that is such a cool pose and cool model.
Oh, I gotta agree.
But I do. I really enjoyed building, painting, and playing with the Von Ryan Leapers. I don't care if they're not meta. I'm taking them in every list.
I see them as my flayed ones for Necrons.
Yeah,
like I really like seeing them playing them because again, it's got that the infiltrate.
Yeah,
a fights first ability, which was really handsome.
It's pretty strong in this edition.
When you infiltrate, you always get
something's going to come at you.
Yeah, they'll always be the ones to get attacked first. So having that ability to you've got the charge off, but I'm going to fight you first to take you out. I'm going to take at least a couple down with this, which is great.
Go down swinging.
Yeah.
But excellent.
Great choice. Again, please let us know what you thought and what your lists are. Are we wrong? Maybe. Let us know what you think.
I don't think there's a right and wrong. I mean, feel free to tell us if you're wrong and we will fight you in the comments. But I'm more interested in, what models inspire you? What made you first get into 40k? What was the model that you fell in love with? And which ones are you in love with at the moment? Really, really keen to know what they are. Yeah. And also, if you've got a loved model that you can't really play at the moment, let us know about that and why.
Yeah, any legend models that went away that you can't play, but you really want to see back, let us know. Well, as well at the end, then thank you so much for the Patreons and members out there.
Yes,
I'll put your names on screen. Massive shout out, really make these videos possible. Yeah, we're saving our pennies for extra stuff in the future. So if you want to contribute towards that, that would be amazing. Links in the description. Yeah, please do. We don't just go out and spend it on booze and gambling and anything like that. It's all going towards a new camera at the moment, isn't it? Which it is, yes.
It's a long because cameras ain't cheap, so we're a long way off. But if you can support us even for a little bit, that would be really appreciated. And even if you can't come join our Discord, it's free.
Please,
we'll put a link in the description. We'd love to see you there.
Yeah, fantastic.
Good. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. It was a nice little discussion today.
Yes, nice. So sorry if it was shorter than the usual videos out there, but we always want to give these things what it's worth. We don't want to drag them out longer than what they need to be. So massive thank you. Yeah, and if you've enjoyed this, go and check out our back catalogue, and we'll be back soon with another video. Thank you. Thank you.